Are you looking for a way to reduce regret in your life? This month's theme is integrity. And I'm Tanya D., registered dietitian. And since we live in a body, we have a soul, and we are a spirit, I believe it's important to feed all three parts. This month's theme, integrity. Integrity is there to help us reduce our regrets and our disappointments. How? The word integrity means unified, whole, undivided. It also means the quality of honesty. So integrity is the ability to be honest, to speak our truth. And the opposite of integrity is disintegrate. So I have found when I'm losing my integrity, my ability to tell the truth, my self-truth, that I start to disintegrate. I lose myself. So, and then I do things that might create regret and disappointment. So here's some tips on feeding your body, soul, and spirit this month so that you can reduce your regrets and disappointments. And so let's talk about ways of increasing integrity in your life. For the body, we know that the body is our temple. Our body has inside, we have inner parts, and the parts are our soul and our spirit. And inside our soul is our mind, our emotions, and our free will. So inside of our temple, there's actually a lot to manage. So one of the things I recommend this month is try to find some creative ways, maybe new creative ways that you haven't tried yet, that can bring this feeling of unification between your inner parts inside your body. What makes you feel united and whole? Try something new and creative. It might be a meditation, a daily meditation practice like I do, a meditation prayer practice. It might be yoga or qigong, or don't be afraid to try some different practices. It could be an art class. It could be a new sport where afterwards you just feel like, wow, I feel unified. So find ways to be in your temple and have that feeling of unity where you feel very whole and not divided within yourself. Maybe it's therapy, I don't know. Anyway, try some new creative ways to explore your temple and what makes it feel unified. In our soul, what our soul is kind of gives us these red flags when we are out of balance. So the theme for the soul this month is finding balance within. So what that means is our soul is our mind, our emotions, and our will, all of our thoughts, all of our feelings, all of our actions. How do we find this balance between these three things that are so powerful, our thoughts and our emotions? One of the things that we can do is just realize that we have the power to make shifts in our lives to return us back to this feeling of having balance within. So you have the power to return yourself to a state where you have balance within. Now, in the mind, let's talk about some strategies. So for our mind, for our thoughts, our mind gets so distracted, right? And it gets overly burdened. So it's a really good idea to establish some rituals and routines in your life that really create that feeling for you, that balance within. I have a ritual of getting up every morning and meditating and praying. That ritual is just a habit now. What rituals and routines can you add to your diet, to your lifestyle, that's really going to help you to where your mind actually gets to just turn off. Your emotions get to be whatever that emotion is, and your actions get to just relax. Your free will gets to just relax because it knows, like, oh, I'm in this space doing this routine. There's nothing really I have to think about, no problems to solve. So routine and ritual are really important. And this month, maybe look at ways you can adjust your personal space to include more ritual and routine in your life. In our emotions, anxiety is the huge red flag that says I'm out of balance within. It's really our soul telling us, like, this is not, something's not right. So when we have anxiety, it's really important to listen to it and even go deeper and say, like, what's this anxiety trying to tell me? It's trying to tell me that something's out of balance in my life. And if I let that go, I get more and more anxious, which may lead to feeling overwhelmed, which can then lead to like a feeling of powerlessness. So even the slightest bit of anxiety, I tend to really listen to and think, wow, okay, I really need to pay attention to this because something's not feeling right in my soul. In our emotions are where our actions are. So what I recommend for our free will is make an action of returning. When you get out of balance, just know again that we have the ability to reset, return to the rituals and routine. You know, rituals and routine, we would all like to just do them for sure every single day, but life comes along and we drop them. But return back to those rituals that you know is going to create that balance within. In our spirit, so our human spirit is joined with God's spirit, which is a higher power, and it all happens in our heart. And that connection, spirit to spirit, that's our inner guide. So God is known as He's the guide. He will guide us, and our spirit will help us. This union can really help to guide us into areas where we feel more unified. We feel able to speak our truth, to know our truth. So when we feel like we're disintegrating or we're having a difficult time, unbalanced, we really seek the spirit and the guidance. The guidance will lead us into protection and wisdom. You'll hear things about, like, oh, this is what you really need to handle with your anxiety. This is really what your body is needing. So you'll hear things from this guide, and that is the key to integrity. And once we hear those things from our guide, then it's important really that we act on those things, that we're able to tell people from our heart, hey, this is my honest to goodness truth here. And that will increase your levels of integrity. And if there's one thing I've realized that gives me the ability to feel like I'm kind of have high energy and a good amount of power in my life to get things done, and at the same time helps me to reduce the regrets and disappointments that I have in my life or that I can create for myself, is returning to having integrity, the ability to be honest with yourself. And in order to do that, we really need to have that inner integrity between all of our parts, our body, soul, and spirit. So anyway, it's a good goal to have. I have a goal of being a person of integrity. So I'm Tanya D., registered dietitian. I hope that this month's Feeding Body, Soul, and Spirit has been helpful to you. Thanks so much for being part of the community. Go in grace and go with grace. Thanks so much.